Well, hey everybody, welcome to Season 3 of Trek in the Valley.
Hello, everyone.
We are coming back after bonus episodes. So Trek in the Valley, as I'm sure you're aware, is the non-encyclopedic Star Trek The Original Series rewatch podcast, where myself, Adam Ordall Quinnell, and my co-host...
Hey, everybody, it's Al Hirt. How's it going?
Mr. Al Hirt. It's going well, Al.
Yeah.
I think now that we're getting Season 3 kicking off...
Yeah,
we're back into watching the original, the TOS, no more
the
movies.
Whiplash.
There's definitely some whiplash going from Beyond to season to Spock's brain.
It's funny that you bring that up, though, because it just has the same tonal confusion as Beyond does.
Hey, wow.
That this episode does.
Season 3
is ridiculous.
Season 3, we're going to get real ass media criticism from Al. He nailed it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So every week we get together in the San Fernando Valley to discuss an episode of Star Trek, the original series. We watch the episode, we have it up on the screen, we talk about it and we basically give you a recap. And then at the end, we recommend some media. Al usually recommends music. I recommend TV shows. We just kind of let you know what we're up to in terms of what we're consuming beyond Star Trek.
The Trek.
And yeah, so last week was a bonus episode, Star Trek Beyond.
Mm-hmm.
Which honestly, I liked Star Trek Beyond more that time watching it than I did when I first saw it, or the first couple times I saw it, I think
I was equally annoyed. It's just one of those things where you're just thinking, if you think too much about it, the more annoyed you'll be. It's just one of those things that passes by and you're like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, fair enough. You just
that's my take on it. A laundry movie. Here we go.
It's always heartbreaking when one of your favorite franchises makes like a laundry movie. You're like, God damn, everyone. We ain't got time. Though. We ain't got time for bad Star Trek movies, motherfucker. They ain't getting made like they used to.
Yeah.
This ain't the late 80s and early 90s when we got a Star Trek every 2 years.
Yeah, it gives people less of faith to make even a new one.
Right? So that was last week,
Beyond,
which is almost 10 years old now.
Mm-hmm.
And this week we're discussing, because this is season 3, logic would dictate we're covering season 3, episode 1 of Star Trek: The Original Series, Spock's Brain.
Bum, bum, bum.
This episode's got some baggage for me because, like I was telling Al, when I told a friend of mine who probably never has listened to the podcast, nor will they, when I told them I had a Star Trek: The Original Series podcast, they were like, "Have you covered Spock's Brain yet?" And I was like, "Well, you clearly don't listen to it."
Yeah, right.
But I was like, "No," and he's like, "Oh, that's like a terrible, bad, good episode." This episode aired originally on September 20th. Ooh, never forget. 1968.
Wow.
Yeah, we're not into 69 nice yet. And the synopsis from our scribe from the great poet at Paramount Plus is Kirk.
Oh, here we go.
Kirk pursues aliens who have taken Spock's brain.
Huh, that's
Boom. That's it.
Yeah.
Nailed it. That's all you need.
It's unfortunate. That's it. I can't really say anything else, you know.
There you go. And so we're kicking it off like so many episodes do. Spock's Brain starts out with the old Enterprise, and they run into a space doodad. It's a weird ship like nothing they've ever seen before, and it's got ion propulsion, and that's a huge deal later.
And right off the bat, though, you can already see the effects are getting really crazy here, and I think they're kicking off the third season with some production power. I was just like, Adam, this episode does look really good.
It's like a paradox.
Compared to when we started, you know?
It's a paradox because every wig is terrible.
Yes, exactly.
But all of like the composite shots, the map painting, the fucking diagram of the solar system later, all that shit looks aces. And then of course we've got the added level of we're watching the remasters, which we haven't talked about lately. We're watching
they look excellent.
We're watching the original series remasters on Paramount Plus, who do not give give us any money to say that, nor will they ever. And so we get this weird little probe, and then the probe, there's a beam that beams from it. They say a transporter beam is coming through, and it's a beautiful lady comes onto the bridge of the Enterprise wearing a shiny purple dress.
Yeah.
And she
it's
pushes
like a nightgown.
she pushes a button on her wrist and she knocks everyone out.
Mm-hmm.
And then she just walks over to Spock and puts her hand on his head. And she also knocks everybody out throughout the ship, too. Not just
by pressing other buttons.
It's
She's
like this,
spreading her frequency.
This button is for this level of the Enterprise. This button is for that level of the Enterprise. They're just not worried about it. Her
Maybe
boots.
she put in the speakers.
God damn, that's some good boots, though. Holy shit.
It reminds me of, like, I guess it is the 60s, right? The whole, go-go dancer thing with the high boots.
She is a hot 60s lady. Like, that's...
looking good.
Yep. Barbarella, we're doing it. And so...
It is a nice dress, though.
She puts her fucking hand
top
on...
looks silly.
And we know the episode's called Spock's Brain. And I agree. Her top does look silly. It's really sparkly, and it's got like a fin that flips over.
I was going to say the fin looks good. But then everything else, yeah.
Man, we would be
Spock's head.
We would be divisive judges on Project Runway, you and I,
right.
if they had us on for like a Trek in the Valley challenge.
Two different projects here.
There you go. So she touches Spock's head, and since we know the episode's called Spock's Brain, it's got to be significant, right?
Right.
And then we get the old they call it the Captain's Oath. We found out in the in Star Trek Into Darkness, the Final Frontier. Motherfucking Chris Pine Kirk says, "And now I will recite the Captain's Oath." But here's the fucking thing: there's no commitment to do something in the oath. It's just like anyway.
It's a tagline.
It does, yeah. It's more like a poem. They could have just said the captain's poem. And then we come back and everybody's
creed.
Waking up, and shit is clearly fucked up. This is written by Lee Cronin, directed by Mark Daniels.
Mark did a really good job.
I think
the way it was directed.
I think we can. There's plenty of shit to spread around in Spock's brain. So they all come to, but this is what's interesting, right? They come to, and Spock is just nowhere to be found.
Dun, dun, dun.
So apparently not only... And then Dr. McCoy calls Kirk down.
Very strange from the get-go.
Yeah, Dr. McCoy calls Kirk down to the sick bay, and Spock's in that big iron lung-looking motherfucking thing they use sometimes around the chest, and he's got a gold shiny thing on his head.
Yeah.
And
it's like a sheet.
And so it looks like chainmail. Mm-hmm. And so Kirk is like, "What happened?" And Bones is like, "I don't know, but Spock's brain is gone."
He's like, "What?"
And this makes me think, so the lady took Spock's brain, and then did the lady put Spock in sickbay before she left?
That's what I was thinking.
Because they were all waking up.
Mm-hmm.
And so...
Maybe she pressed some buttons. No, she had to literally pick them up because the buttons knocked people out. But anyways, this acting in this scene is so god-awful. I turned to Adam and I was like, it's just like they just woke up from a hangover. Or they just like forgot how to act that day and just fucking ran with it.
I think it's the wigs.
Because they're not scared.
The new wigs are throwing them off.
Yeah, right. Maybe they're so confident. This dude, Scotty, I don't know. I mean,
Scotty's got a flat top wig. I can't stop.
I don't know.
I can't look at it and I can't look away.
I feel like he was adamant and was like, no, I want to keep this.
So, terrible acting aside, which is honestly part of that's on your boy Mark Daniels.
Yeah, that's true. That's
bad acting or bad directing. I don't know. And so basically, Bones is telling Kirk, "I can keep Spock alive without a brain for 24 hours." He's like, "Yeah, I know it's fucked up, but
well, we got a timer."
He was like, "If it was a human, I could keep them alive without a brain indefinitely." And it's like, well, that's good to know for later.
Yeah, right.
In the series when everybody has brain problems.
Sure.
And then, but Spock's body, because Spock needs his brain more for life support and shit, Spock's body can live for 24 hours without a brain. And also, Spock knows this later. He's like, well, I'm sure Bones told you that, I can only live for 24 hours without a brain. And so basically, this is great. McCoy actually says to Kirk at one point, "Where are you going to look for Spock's brain?
In the galaxy, it's
Where in the
huge."
galaxy are you going to look for
so
Spock's
stupid.
brain?" Cut to like Kirk looking under a table.
Yeah, right.
And
I
then
don't know how.
that brings up the bigger problem of even if he fucking finds Spock's brain, Bones is like, "I can't put it back in. That's not how brain
Yeah, he
surgeries
goes,
work."
"I don't know how." And Kirk goes, "Well, the thief does.
Yeah.
And if the thief knows how to take the brain out, they'll know how to put it back in." And I was like, they could have figured this out at least an hour ago.
So they follow an yes, dude, right?
It was like, what the fuck is going on? Why are they just
And
deliberating about this?
The fact that they woke up and then Bones has already got Spock in the iron lung
it was
thing.
weird. I don't see, because it was, to me, I was giving more credit until, the ending happens. I was giving it more credit to think that it was fantasy or magic.
So this is what's
Like he just
interesting
floated there,
So this is what's interesting to me about mine and Al's experience of this episode, right? I watched it all last night or the day before, and I made a couple of my little notes, but I kind of checked out during part of it, but I saw the end, so I knew why everybody thinks it sucks shit, right? Like I knew how fucking bananas there are so many beats in the last 5 minutes of this episode that are crazier than anything they've done before. and then so Al was like, I thought it was just like an episode, and I was like, dude, you don't even fucking know. And then right before the end, I paused it and I was like, how do you think they're going to resolve this? And he was like, magic. And I was like, worse. And so, but because part of this, podcast for listeners who are starting on season 3 is, yes, these episodes are not good or necessarily good to watch, but there's good things about them. And so wouldn't you rather have us tell you about it than have to fucking watch it?
There's nice little seeds.
Like, for example,
of sci-fi.
they get to this galaxy now. This
Yes.
planet, this star that's got planets around it, and there's this. They're in the science room or whatever, and they've got a fucking amazing looking diagram of this solar system up on the wall. The effect is great, and it's clearly like they're using an overhead projector or something. You know what I mean?
course.
Like it's projected, and it just looks so fucking good.
Yeah, it's on the bridge when they're trying to decide which planet to go to.
Oh, they're on
because
the
they
bridge
only
right
have so
now.
much time. Yeah.
What
it's
a weird
projecting on
angle.
the flip. Yeah, it's bizarre.
I thought they were in like the observatory or
Oh,
whatever, but no,
no.
they're just on the bridge.
Yeah.
They're trying. Tell us about what they're looking at.
They're trying to look for a planet that would be, sustaining human life for whoever, I guess, would use Spock's brain. They're trying to follow some subspace
They follow
trail
the
too,
ion
right?
trail from the
ion
ship
trail,
to
yes.
this. Okay, so they follow the ion trail to this star system.
Yes,
and
yes.
they find these planets, and they don't know which planet the brain robber went to.
Right, and what tripped you out too, and myself as well, is that Chekhov was like, "There's 3 M-class planets." And
they all have life.
And they all have life,
And
and
then-
they all have atmospheres that sustain human life.
And then I started thinking, there's humanoid life, and
Humanoid life,
and then I
yes.
started to think like, what the fuck? Now that I think about it, there's been a bunch of times. Like, remember when those 2 planets fought each other with computers?
Yeah,
There's been a bunch of times where there's multiple planets in a system that have life.
it's bizarre,
And
but it happens now and then.
At first, I was like, what the hell? But then I thought about it like, well, if you're going by like the life comes from space and it's an asteroid that hits a planet kind of thing, there's no reason that an asteroid
Can't
storm
split off.
couldn't hit multiple planets in the same system. But anywho, it's a great effect, and they're talking about these 3 planets, and
they
it's
have to
kind of
decide.
like Goldilocks and the 3 bears, right? Like they're trying to decide because they only have time because Spock's body is going to die,
24 hours.
right? And now they got like 10 hours
They
left.
kill. I thought that. Yeah, they killed. No, they said they have 8, don't they?
8 hours left when they
kept
get here.
repeating it. Jesus Christ.
So they've got to decide. They've only got resources to visit and check out one of these planets, and one of them is at 1400 BC Earth level. So
Yeah.
they couldn't have an ion propulsion thing, and one of them's at like Earth 2030 levels. Also couldn't have an ion propulsion thing. And then there's a glaciated planet that's like trapped in an ice age where they're getting regular energy pulses from beneath the surface.
Right.
And but there's only like primitive life scattered about the surface, right?
And they come up every once in a while too.
Yes.
So it's bizarre.
So then Kirk's like, hey, you, Sulu, which one should we go to? And Sulu's like, oh, this one's not advanced enough. This I don't know. And then he asks Chekhov. And then they end up going with a hunch to check the glaciated planet,
Well,
which
yeah,
is...
Uhura was like, the energy could be anything, too. It could be like a natural occurrence, too. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it just depends on Kirk's hunch.
But at 13 minutes in exactly, we get them beaming down to to one of the Sigma Draconis 6 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And there's a fucking rad matte painting of these, like...
Oh, it's a beautiful shot.
If I was like a millionaire, dude, and if I had dumb fucking money, I would totally collect like backdrops and like have them photographed or whatever, you know? Like... Those matte paintings are so beautiful, and like in the movie like Sam Raimi had used matte paintings really well in his movies too. I just fucking love it. But yeah, so they beam down to this planet, and it's snowy and it's shitty.
Go back in this part where he like mistakens him.
I am so sorry. This is hilarious. I think that might have been in the script.
Yeah, no, they definitely put that in there. But as soon as they land,
when they beam in, Kirk is like, "Any life form readings, Mister Spock?" I mean Scott, and Scotty's like, they make eye contact, like he's just got
really
Spock.
Awkward.
He's got Spock on his brain, man. He loves him.
Yeah, and it's because they're still searching for him. But we get a couple of shots of the atmosphere of the planet that they're on, and it just seems like this weird snowy planet. And there's all these cavemen, but they're massive. And I think they have, like, these jackets or these suits. They kind of make them look bigger, right?
They have hides. They were wearing hides.
Hides, okay.
Like,
okay.
Leathers, as they would say.
Leathers.
And so they try and beat up the crew of the Enterprise, these cave people. They
set it
fight.
all to stun, though. They set their phasers to stun, at least.
Eventually, they're going to find out that this is a post-warp civilization that regressed. Spoiler alert, anybody who's listening.
Right.
But so all I could think about this whole time was like, why aren't they worried about the Prime Directive? I mean, I know that we saw in Into Darkness, Kirk would violate the Prime Directive for Spock, so maybe it's in character in general. But it's just like they don't even seem worried about it for a second.
Well, they don't even seem to... I don't know. They don't even seem to be worried that Spock's brain has gone at first, honestly. They just forget a lot of things to do off the wayside. They make a lot of mistakes this episode, too.
And so they question one of the cave people that they knock out. And he says, no, there are things that they come up from underground and they bring us pain and delight. And they don't. He doesn't understand what the word mate is, or partner, or woman, or anything like that. And he said
he's just a person.
Yeah, and so he doesn't understand companion. And basically, Kirk is saying, we want to find these people that you're talking about that provide the delight. I don't want
to show you at all.
Yeah, he's scared.
Of course, he's terrified because like that's all he knows, right? And then they go into a cave, and it's kind of giving, I think that's why the other thing, it just makes us frustrated, is that things just suddenly get made and they're magic. What was the episode where they go into that planet, and it's those two warring civilizations, and then one already has guns?
Oh, yes.
Because Klingons are giving him weapons.
It is giving that vibe in this cave.
Yeah, because they just come in and they're like, oh, all this shit is already made. And like, I don't know, it's kind of spoiling half of the mystery, but kind of not. It's just they're tying more plots into this, and it's making it more confusing.
So yeah, they
can't stick to something.
They find this cave where there's knives and shit that there's no way these cave people could have created, and there's a projector that's like projecting something.
Right.
And then, as Kirk is communicating about that on his communicator, Bones beams down with Spock's body, and Spock's got like a little robot plate. He's got a robot hat on, basically, just covering the top of his head. And
He's got two little plugs like Frankenstein too.
Oh my God, does he?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't notice that. So Bones is controlling him with a tiny little remote control that's got a bunch of clicky clacky buttons and a dial on it, and it clicks like he's like a clockwork golem, and it is bananas.
He's like wound up.
They don't talk about it nearly enough.
They
didn't talk about it at all. They didn't talk about it at all. He just shows up like, with Spock's body.
How did you do this?
He knew that they had to bring him with. Like, he was like, you got to find a way to bring him with.
Not in a wheelchair.
But the fact that they weren't blown away when they saw him walking. And then Kirk is like, all right, we're going to go explore this cave. And Chekhov and the two red shirts, you just hang out here. And
watch
Chekhov,
the entrance.
Yeah, Chekhov heats up a rock, and that's where he will stay for the rest of this episode.
They just knock him out.
So then they find this underground lair where there's a beautiful lady pops up. She's got the wrist weapon, and they phaser her before she can use it.
Right.
And then they pick her up and question her, and she's like, "You're not an iMorg or a Morg. Who are you if you're not iMorg? I am iMorg."
Yeah,
and they're just like
filling in words.
Bones is like, "You're not going to get anything out of her. Her brain is fucking noodle soup."
Yeah, right. She has the brain of a child.
Like, they ask, where are we? And she says, we are here. They go, what is this place? And she goes, it is here.
It's home.
And Bones says, you'll get nothing out of that one. Hers is the mind of a child. And she kind of looks at him like, what the fuck?
Yeah, right. I feel like it's interesting that they're all, specifically women. Obviously, we find out why later. But there's like a lot of these lines that are just kind of aged funny, too.
Yeah, they're often saying women could never do anything like this, but they really mean people never could.
Of course.
And this is when the plot thickens, because on Kirk's communicator, he gets a communique from Spock's voice.
Yeah, all of a sudden you just hear Spock.
And so Spock is talking, and he's like, I don't know where I am. And
he's like, what is going on?
And they're basically
am I consciousness. Like,
Bones says, Spock, you're a disembodied brain, and Spock says, that would explain some things.
Yeah, he's like, this is kind of weird, and I guess he's on their frequency. That's how they're able to communicate.
Mm-hmm. And one of the big running gags of this episode is that Spock keeps telling them, you shouldn't be risking yourselves to try and save me. You're not going to be able to fix me.
Yeah, seriously.
And so then another lady shows up, knocks them all out.
Yeah.
And oh my God,
keeps doing stills of just Spock.
So
just zooming in on his face.
All the other dudes get knocked out by the wrist weapon thing, right? And then it's going to cut to commercial, and it zooms in on Spock, the robot Spock's totally blank face.
Yeah. Look
just
at you
bananas.
See the two little pieces?
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely. Two little Frankenstein nodules. I love it. Love it.
And he's wearing green too.
Yep, he's wearing a weird forest green jumpsuit for some reason.
Not his usual getup.
And then they wake up with pain belts on. Little green, they look like green plastic plates that have a red cup, solo cup bottom, and they're like little round things on their belts. And they get woken up by the leader of this underground civilization of dumb ladies and weird guys.
They're like weird little seatbelts.
Yeah, and then he's just like, I want Spock's brain. We need Spock's brain. And then she's like, brain. You always talk about brain. What is brain?
I don't know. See, this is what's missing is like, this is all usually, clever, or I guess, interesting in the sense of they're trying to figure out what the person's trying to say or what the civilization is. We had people, trying to articulate what was it? The Declaration of Independence or the Bill of Rights or whatever.
Yes.
That was really strange.
Yep.
Or just like the Sun People and the Coming of Christ. This just feels rushed and silly, where it's like there's nothing to it. It's just the fact that, they explain it later, spoiler alert or whatever, but just that, they didn't need to think. It's like,
yeah, to do anything.
What? How did they do anything then? Like, that doesn't even make sense.
Absolutely, it doesn't. And
so it's weird.
And Kirk keeps trying to ask them to talk to their leader, and she's like, "We don't understand, leader." And then the purple lady says, "Wait, I am the leader, if that's what you're talking about." Mm-hmm. And so then when they bring up,
so awful, the miscommunication. It's hard to sit through.
And then it comes down to they find out that they have something called a controller, and because Kirk says, I need to know who's in control. And she goes, control? Controller? And she's like, is Spock's brain a controller? And Bones is like, yes, the brain is something of a controller for the human body. And then we're basically, we're finding out.
No, you missed it, though. It's one of the best lines right before when he goes, Spock goes, yeah, I mean, the brain is some kind of controller. And he goes, no, Bones. Spock's brain. And he, like, waves his hand over the screen. Controls. And Scotty and Bones are like, oh.
And I think he does that later, too.
Right.
He goes, all of this.
Yeah, right. And he's like, wait, but we have to. He pretends to praise it, too. So he's, like, pulling all the ropes of, like, okay, might be a dumb civilization of just praying and stuff. And he pleads with them, says that the controller's friends, but they once again get pain belted or whatever. So this is like also, what's it called? The robots that had the belts that tortured those people.
Yes, the people they were not robots. They were beings aliens from an outside a galaxy.
The multi-generational space travelers.
Yes, yeah, good memory. So they get pain belted down, and they're basically left in a room. So.
With security.
The leader of these ladies is like, I have to go learn what to do. And her colleagues leave, and they leave these two cavemen with pain belts on to guard the Enterprise boys. Right. But then we get back up to Sulu on the Enterprise, and Sulu's like, it seems that they did find Spock's brain. How would he know that? Chekhov is just standing outside the cave. He goes, Kirk and them have gone to do something, and Chekhov is standing watch. And it's just a hilarious shot of Chekhov in those red shirts, just warming their fucking hands like for the last 20 minutes. And then the Enterprise boys wake up, and they've got these morgues, the men who are watching over them. And Scotty says some sexist stuff. He's like, this would take engineering genius to make these belts, and there's no engineering genius. There's not a drop of engineering genius in any of these ladies. Maybe these dumb cavemen built it for them. You never know.
I was like, oh my gosh.
So
they could have made robots.
Basically, Kirk has a problem with this because the Delights is 100% under control of the women. And so he's trying to get his communicators. They have all their weapons and shit laid out. Not the weapons, but their communicators and the Spock controller. They're like laid out perfectly. And then Kirk and Bones and Scotty put on a little show and give a little distraction. And his plan is just grab him, push him back.
Yeah, that's the other thing where it feels silly. This is the
hilarious
beginning
fight.
Of the end, you know.
Hilarious
it is a funny fight though.
Kirk jumps over the desk. And so now they've got Spock back on the communicator, and it's weird because they
shot of the
Spock computer,
the
controller,
yes.
But they make the editing is weird because it makes it feel like it's in the room with you, but it's not.
But it's because Adam, it's because the set's so lazy, man. All the walls are pink, and everything looks the same, and there's nothing on the wall the distinct one from the other.
Yeah.
But it's also it's reminding me of Landru too. The design of the computer is really dope, and they do kind of explain why it looks the way it looks later.
Light tubes.
Yes, but, I mean, it's given Landru, it's like a mishmash of all their episodes, you know?
And this is just more
rushed.
Exactly. And this is Spock is again saying, you're not going to be able to put my brain back in. Just get out of here. He even starts this conversation by saying, are you guys back on the Enterprise yet?
Yeah, right.
It's like, dude, we're trying to fucking save your life. Thoughtful, but probably impractical.
And he's like, honestly, even if you do find it, how are you going to learn how to move my brain in 5 hours?
Well, he tells McCoy, he goes, I would maybe trust McCoy with a splinter or something, but I would never trust him with putting my brain back in. And he says that skill does not exist yet in the galaxy, but later he has it, as we find out.
Just a lot of, brain-breaking moments, actually, in this script.
Yeah, it's interesting because this really sets up the next scene because they say, we've got 5 hours, and the Spock over the communicator says, that doesn't seem like enough time to learn the skills to put my brain back in my head. And then in the next scene, well, actually, what happens next? Not the very next scene, because they have to get there. What's the transition from they're in the prison to the next big action?
They just walk through the hallways. Like, don't they?
Hold on.
Oh, yes, that's...
Yeah.
And they're all just there.
Yeah, so...
With their wigs.
So, with their terrible wigs. But yeah, so that basically sums it up. The only difference is Kirk asks Spock, hey, can you help us get our pain belts off? And Spock says, I will give it the highest priority.
Yes,
so it's like he's organizing his RAM, his higher functions.
Yes,
and
that's
then,
true, but he doesn't send one person off, to go figure out the belts, right?
Yeah. And then...
go ahead. Or what was it? So he already tells them how they're controlled, too, so he can figure out how to get out of it. So he's like, oh, thanks. And Spock's like, or the frequency Spock goes, I have no idea what any of this means, but this is what I'm telling you.
Yeah, Spock says the device is released by the red button on the wrist. I don't know what that means. And then Kirk is like, well, I do. And it's like, what do you mean? It's a red button on a wrist. You know what it means.
You're a computer? Like, what's going on?
Exactly. And then she pain belts them, and this is where shit kind of kicks off extra lame. Kirk is in massive tummy pain, and he's able to pull himself over to Spock's remote control.
Yeah.
And then by pushing the buttons and turning the dial, he so finely controls Spock body's movements that Spock grabs the lady's wrists and turns off the pain belts. Bananas.
Oh, so that was the remote. That's right.
Yeah.
I just, I don't know. It just feels stretched.
Absolutely.
So anyways, after Spock, finally gets that button off of them and they get the pain belts released, Kirk goes up and just again pleads for, them to give Spock's brain back. And they realize that, they're just depending on this device to just run the new ways compared to the old ways, right?
Spock's brain controls the whole facility, and they don't have to do anything.
Like the AC there, the food, everything.
Yeah, and so what is
this? It's also like, though, the people who depended on the computer menagerie.
Yes.
With the menagerie who just depended on technology instead of like the people who created them. Mm-hmm. It's like they moved on past all that. Yeah. And that I guess this knowledge is, what's it called?
Quatlos! 4 Quatlos!
The knowledge is, what's it called? Forbidden or something. And it can only be in little doses.
Well, yeah, so they've got this machine that's got it looks like a Cerebro helmet, basically, with little spikes on it. And it's got all these 20,000 years of knowledge, right? And whenever they have to do something that involves knowledge, they learn it for like 3 hours, and then they can do it. But you can't do it very often, etc. Right?
Right.
They had their old controller brain was dying, so they went and got Spock's brain. They don't cover how they found it. They don't cover if she only had 3 hours of brain time. That was enough in her ion propulsion ship to go find Spock's brain and bring it back. And so they put the helmet, like they kind of force her to wear the brain helmet, and that's uncomfortable. But then she becomes smart, and she explains to them what's going on. She's basically saying, you can't take the controller away from us.
It's part of our society, basically.
And she's also like, I'm brilliant when I have the brain energy. And they're like, yeah, you are. They're trying to play up to her ego. And then she says, also, since I have all the knowledge, I have the knowledge of your guns. And she has a phaser that she fucking brought.
Yeah, right.
That they brought her, basically.
And Scotty's like, oh, man, it's set to kill.
And she goes, if your weapon kills, it will kill you. Yeah, that's what killing means.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe it's a computer, but it just doesn't quite know English yet.
She's smart now, but also they distract her. Like, they get the phaser away from her because Scotty just pretends to faint.
Oh, it's
and
so
she's like,
silly.
She's distracted, and Kirk just grabs the phaser from her. And
again, another silly exit from a problem,
Yeah, she immediately goes into preservation mode. She's like, they're like, you have to put Spock's brain back in. And she's like, fucking no. And I couldn't even learn how to do it anyway because you can't use the brainulator 2 times in a row.
Yeah, exactly.
And then.
So then this feels like a whole, step it up moment from, do you remember like in Star Trek 1 when that ensign or that, so-called captain was like, let me merge with this fucking thing and see what happens,
Yes.
It was kind of like how Bones volunteers himself and decides, hey, let me try strapping on this Cerebro thing. If it does have all this old information, I can figure out how to move a brain and put it back into Spock's body. And they're like, that's fucking dumb. What if you pass out?
Right?
What if your head explodes?
Yeah.
And Scott and
she's got alien brain. She's got alien brain. Who knows how it's going to react to your brain?
And Kirk was like, look, even if he goes, if you do this, we won't know if you lose yourself. And like, we lose 2 crewmen. And Bones is like, if I don't even try, though, then we lose one either way. So why don't we just try to save both of us?
And the pitch Bones puts in is, because I'm already a surgeon, I might be able to retain some of the information. I could bring these procedures back to society, to the world at large. And that's when you realize, he just wants to be really smart for a little while.
Yeah, that too.
And so then they brainulate him.
It happens to be the flex of, moving human brains.
They brainulate him. He gets really hurt. He collapses, and then he looks up and says, of course. He's totally calm. He's like, it's fucking simple. It's simple. A child could do it.
Yeah, it's so fucked. It looks like he it's just rejuvenated and just, what is the word? What is it? Exhilarated. His eyes get super wide.
He's just like, a child could do it. And then it cuts to him with weird under lighting, like lighting up onto his face, like very cold blue surgical lighting. And he's and then he's like at the top of, it looks like he's like a DJ. He's at the top of like a DJ booth. And then Spock's at the bottom of the DJ booth, just with the top of his head going through a little hole.
Yeah, and it's a little stand that you can see that Bones props up on. And I don't know, I guess somehow they had the brain placed there already set. Maybe the chick did it.
Right. And
she certainly isn't helping still.
So who fucking, so now Bones is just digging into Spock's brain. They never show the brain. It's just like Bones just like reaching down and like figuring, and he's going real fast, and Scotty's like, he's operating at warp speed because he's got the brainulator. And so she's saying, but when you take the controller away, we're gonna die up on the surface. And they're like, no, you'll use your feminine wiles, you'll learn to build houses, you'll make peace with the men.
And he's having a Landru moment again, where instead of just ditching them, though, Kirk is slowly explaining to them, well, you'll just have to figure out how to be a society without a controller.
Yeah. And then the worst thing possible happens, and Bones starts to forget the brainulator knowledge.
It's like, dun, dun, dun.
And he just looks confused. He's like, oh, the ganglia, there's so many nerves. And Scotty's like...
And once again, Adam... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, Scotty's just like, he's forgetting, Captain.
Yeah, and I wanted to bring this up, too, because you brought it up while we were watching or rewatching it. You were like, this is a good issue. Like, this is cool. Like, this is smart that, Bones isn't overpowered and just saves the day and cleans the slate clean, Like, he's having some issues forgetting. And I'm like, yes, again, another cool problem that they run into, but...
How do they solve it?
They, again, depend on Spock's brain.
Yeah, so he actually...
Quite literally.
So in a last-ditch effort, so they... First off, there's a lot of... So there's this long sequence.
Shot? What time is that?
At 45:45, right? There it is, 45:50. Kirk tells Bones, he goes, Bones, you're still a great surgeon. Remember, you can do it. And Bones
it was child's play.
Bones like lifts his head up and he's got his crazy eyebrow up, and then he looks down and there's this pulsing light up on his blue light on his face.
Yeah, he's got
and
to
then
focus
it's like,
now.
And then Kirk is doing his captain's log and he's like, Bones is doing his best just with his regular surgery knowledge to try and finish the process. And it keeps doing these fades to like the long shot of all four of them. And then it like fades to Bones just sweating with blue light on his fucking face. Just, oh my God. Yeah. And he's just like, has no fucking idea what to do. And then Kirk has the brilliant idea. He says, wait, you could get help from Spock. You should just use what remaining memory you have to just reconnect Spock's vocals, And then Spock can talk, he can help you, and that's what he does. And this is something I wanted to mention when we were watching it, right? He says you got to work on his vocal cords, right?
Yeah.
But talking isn't just your vocal cords. It's also the muscles of your mouth, your lungs. It's all connected. So it's not just like you connect the vocal cords and then he can speak.
It's a very 60s view, I guess. Maybe I was thinking too, we didn't see any brain because of like what is it? We didn't see any brain because it's a
standards
TVPG,
and practices and shit.
Yeah, it's a TVPG thing, and they couldn't make it too complicated for the kiddos out there. But it's like, yeah, even with the vocal cords, Spock would just be like, duh.
Right?
Like, what's
you
going
have your
on?
hand in my head,
yeah,
noodles.
What? Ow, 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 you know, like, and then oh God, and then it's even worse when they get his vocal cords back, right? Mm-hmm. And it's kind of stuttering too, where he's like, you need to connect all the vocal cords so I could speak clearly. It's so weird. But once he's speaking clearly, he goes, okay, Doc, start connecting my nerves so I can feel this. And then you can start testing my joints like I'm a fucking puppet.
My nerves one at a time.
Yeah.
Bones just said there's a million nerves. And so, but it turns out there's only 10. They just have to do his hands, his elbows.
And he's like, you know what, Bones, you're doing a pretty damn good job. He said, shock and do a electric compressing on my fucking head nerves, and I'll move my arm, and I'll tell you if you're hitting the right spot. It's so weird.
He's saying, correct, and they're connecting it. And here's something to think about. There is 1.5 minutes left of this episode. And Bones' hands are still in Spock's fucking skull. And so it's very stressful and tense, but Spock gets up, and there it is. He's fixed. And Spock is like, yep, I actually feel quite well, Captain. It's like Leonard Nimoy forgot how to play Spock. He's too excited. He's too happy.
Yeah.
And then he starts, because he's got all the brainulator knowledge still. So he just starts rattling off facts about the planet to like explain the men were separated from the women for this reason. And then a schism happened between the males and the females.
Yeah.
And then Bones is like, I knew I shouldn't have done it. And Kirk is like, what? And he's like, I shouldn't have reconnected his vocal cords.
Yeah, and it's like,
and then Spock just keeps talking about the history, and then it fades to the Enterprise.
I was about to turn to you and be like, that's how it really ends, and then that's how it really ends.
That's it.
Nothing makes sense, and that's the end of the show.
And and Kirk does say, you'll have some help figuring it out, lady. Like, he does say, we'll help you for a little while to get used to being with the other people. But that's where Spock explains that it's actually a post-warp civilization, etc. And there we go. That's the recap. Now, Al, what did you think?
This was, I don't know. The mysteries that they set up and like the cool little interesting plots were dope. But then none of them get addressed or resolved. And then the issues that do get resolved are just like a fell swoop. You know, it's like, oh, there's security. How do we get out of this? Let's just beat them up. And then it was like, okay, we're going to just walk down this hall and then just use Spock's brain the entire time. I don't know. It's like maybe Scotty could have done something to like the engine room or like the room where they are or the basement. It's really weird because it just feels rushed because they all go through this hallway and that like the people that they're facing are like just inherently, oh, they're just dumb. So they don't know what they're doing. We'll just figure it out. And that at the end, the twist is just that it's a computer, but they have knowledge, but they won't use it, I guess.
Because it has to be dictated to them to use it. They don't. They try. They think they explain that, but they don't do a good job of it because Spock is like, it's pre-programmed as to when they're going to use it. So it's like, so what? There's a program that said in 10,000 after the brain dies, you put the thing on. It's like,
did they determine that?
The people who made that technology set a bunch of alerts on an iPad that's like, at this time, you put the helmet on, then you go find a Vulcan and do brain surgery.
That's the thing. It's like you were bringing up, well, if it only gives you so much knowledge for a couple hours, like how would you be able to find a ship, let alone a Vulcan in that ship? Let alone a smart enough brain and stuff. And also the big disappointing part to me was, yes, you nailed it, where it's like the crew doesn't really know how to act, or they didn't know what's going on, or the shots they just took Maybe it was like the first of the 10th shot, and they're just like, whatever, it's good. And it just ends in a really silly way. Like, I guess we're just too cynical with like darker formats of TV now. But like Spock just to be like, holy shit, I don't even know what I was. Like, was I a computer? What was time? Like, I didn't even need to eat. Like, I didn't really think. I couldn't see anything.
They left a lot on the table.
Just like frequencies. Yeah, it's like there's a bunch of other things they could have done or directions they could have gone in this, but it's like, I think it's part of the whole silly 60s thing. They're trying to do a Who Mourns for Adonis. I think this is like maybe their match. But I always was telling Adam too, with the last season premiere, they always fuck with Spock.
Right? Spock Amok like was Spock the really season 2 premiere, yeah.
It's like when Spock's getting messed with, it's silly and it's fun. And it's like, oh, he's the one that's always serious and like level-headed. So maybe it's more interesting for him. I just feel like they rushed the aliens they were dealing with. The guys, I guess. They could have gone more into that. It could have been cooler.
There's so many
just
others.
So weird.
There's so many things that they just threw away.
And it feels rushed and silly, but not in the good silly. Like those little Furby Tribble things. That's a good silly.
Right. Yeah, the Tribbles are great.
Yeah.
Well,
there's a point.
And I agree with a lot of that. I think something that I do want, before we give our ratings, I should mention that all the remastered shit looks awesome. The little spaceship at the beginning, the ion propulsion ship, the CG, the cleaning up remastering of that looks fucking awesome.
Oh yeah, the CG is definitely carrying this.
And one of the questions we always ask, or we try to ask when we remember, is what does the title mean? This one's pretty obvious.
Well, duh, yeah.
It's a little on the nose. But
that's what I'm saying. It's like it's all...
There's also one other thing. I can't remember exactly where it is, but at some point, a little gadget just comes up into frame next to Sulu, and then he never looks into it. It's that eyepiece thing, like that they usually use to look at the surface of a planet. But they like really were showing off that they had this mechanical mechanism to raise it up, and he doesn't use it right away in that scene. It's pretty funny, but I thought that it was not. Look, this is like supposedly. This is supposedly one of the worst fucking episodes of the show, right?
There's no, like, thought to it, I think is what it is.
It's very all over the place.
Yeah.
Is there no thought to it, or does it make perfect sense? Like, if there was a society that was getting a brainulator every 10,000 years. No, you're right.
It was like, what's it called? I mean, it was like Beyond. Where they're just, oh, here's this weird X planet. They're just taking over. We don't know why. They're all fucking brainless. Whoa, that sucks. So, and then there's this weird technology that's like really bad, but everybody's, following it just because it's bad technology. Kirk saves everyone. Kirk explains what's going to happen next.
Yep.
The end. That's why it just feels like unfinished, the people. And then... the reaction to, Spock's brain being, like, discombobulated and gone.
Ridiculous.
They're just like, that really sucks. I don't know what to do. I don't know.
The whole keeping is, and when Spock says, of course, the doctor told you, my body can only survive without a brain for 24 hours.
Okay, I was giving that all to him because I was just like, you know what? At this point, his brain's part of the computer. Maybe he sucked in all that information. He's Ultra Spock or whatever. And then I was also thinking, what was that movie, Salt? Or like Lucy. God, dude. I was like, Spock's like some server computer brain thing now.
Right.
Kills me.
So also, it's just weird when there's such great effects, like such good remastered effects, and then you see Scotty's hair looks like it's made out of shoe polish. And they all just look, the wigs are so... Chekhov has one of the better wigs, which is crazy. And I know it seems like I harp on this a lot, but they look really bad. But everything else looks good. The backgrounds, the ship, I liked like the neutral colors of the underground place, and also the harsh snow of the caveman area.
Like a tad more production on the ground or whatever. They nailed the ship, though. I think... That's the thing that, you always talk about where it's like once they leave the ship, it kind of gets weird. But they planned it all well. It just kind of feels like the little peaks or their little plans or their highlights of the story are like, it's a computer, or it's really this, and it's really like they didn't connect the strings here, you know. They just kind of threw whatever in between the scenes. Like, I mean, for example, you know, the scene we were just laughing about where they just literally walk down a hall and he's like, hey, Spock, can you figure this out for us? Cool, thanks.
Like Spock is Siri?
Yeah, I don't know. And I was just like, they just keep, this fool's brain isn't in his body and they're still depending on him.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fucking crazy.
They're totally lost without Spock.
He's not alive. He's literally a drone. And then, actually, yeah, I wanted to include the compendium real quick before we forget.
One more, before we go to the compendium.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Two last things. It's like the Rick and Morty with the Gazorpazorps, where the women are up in space and the dumb men are on the ground. And also, when when Bones is talking about Spock's body being kept alive without a brain, Bones really sounds like he wants to fuck Spock. Yeah. He's like that incredible Vulcan physique of his. It's just like, Jesus Christ, dude, that's pretty. Yeah, I mean, I like it. I'm into it. Get the slash fic going now. And now we turn to Alan Asherman's compendium of Star Trek, the original series.
It's been with us since the beginning here.
Right?
I mean, on the way here, I was like, I mean, I don't know whether he'll praise it, love it. Like, maybe he'll praise it because he's pretty biased. Obviously, the book's about the show. But he compares it to Abbott and Costello's Meet Frankenstein.
Like a goofy
and
shit.
And I was like, whoa, that's pretty brutal. And just the concept of, you know, the brain being the controller of everything and, like, the way they do the surgery and all that. Like, as we pointed out, it's just silly in fucking general. Just that whole idea of the brain being, you know, like a wall socket or whatever. That's just weird. That doesn't make sense. It's silly. And then the problem with the episode, too, that they had the most beef with was that, you know, according to Star Trek lore, at this point, they knew how to repair everything. And this is coming from the mouth of Bones in an earlier episode, I guess. They know how to repair everything but the brain. Like, they figured everything out but the brain. So, like, it literally makes no sense that he's able to make a drone out of Spock's body to have it, like, haul around like Frankenstein kind of deal.
Right. Yeah, dude.
And that's why you're like, they should just be amazed at that fact. But the fact that he just pulled that out of his ass.
Kirk
and I was like, yeah, that's true.
Kirk just tells Bones, you got to figure out a way to bring Spock with us. Bones appears with a Spock droid, and they're just like, all right, let's fucking go. Jesus Christ. Yeah, you put some circuits in his head. That's what we thought you were going to do. Let's go.
Yeah, right. They did like, what is it called? They liked the part with the helmet and Spock or Bones being like, I could figure it out. A child could do it. That part's funny. I think it was just a weird story. I Yeah.
And it's got this guy Alan Asherman writing about every episode and some of the movies.
And back behind the scenes, whatever.
Yeah, it's like one of those books you'd buy at Barnes and Noble because you like Star Trek. And so it's rare that he's very critical.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's
that's how you know the episode's bad.
Yeah, and I think that I'm going to be very curious to see what people say about this episode when we share it.
It wasn't actually okay. I'll say this: it wasn't really a slog to go through. Whereas like the other episodes where they have an established, you know, alien lore and all that. Mm-hmm. It's just weird because this feels like, if you will, a Frankenstein.
Yeah, of a bunch of different stories.
Ideas, yeah.
Yep.
And no execution.
Right. But yes, I absolutely agree. So if we were to rank this with 1 to 5 green pain belts, what would you give it?
Probably like a 2.5, and then that 0.5 was like the watchability. So like you could watch it, but you'll forget about it.
So
it's just something funny. Actually, you won't forget about it because it's so bad. And that's a 0.5.
There you go. 2.5, split in the middle.
Yeah.
50%.
It's
F minus.
It's a bad one.
Well, I tend to agree, but I'm going to give it a 3, and that's only because, as I explained to you, I've been watching a lot of bad 90s like action shows. Like Google this stuff, Time Tracks, Nightman, Mantis. They're fucking hilarious, syndicated, awesome action shows that look terrible but have a lot of heart. And I kind of felt that vibe a little bit in this, so I have a warm spot for the bad, good, bad. But I give it a 3 pain belts, and that is our Trek in the Valley coverage of Season 3, Episode 1 of Star Trek: The Original Series, Spock's Brain. Dun, dun. Hey, good job, Al. It's good to be back talking about the show. It's been like 8 weeks.
Season fucking 3, dude.
Season 3, and honestly, I thought, we had such a short break between seasons, but no, we had 8 weeks.
Yeah, that was
8
a long
weeks,
time.
7 episodes and an off week. So now is where we would talk about things that we would recommend. And I want to start by saying the Fallout show is as good as everybody says it is.
Yes,
you gotta fucking watch.
I haven't started it.
Oh, dude, watch Fallout. It's great.
Okay.
Best video game adaptation ever of a show. It fucking rips. It's very gross. Walton Goggins is amazing. It's one of those things where everything that you read about it, when people are raving about it, it's 100% accurate.
It matches the hype.
It's so good. And of course, Nightman on Amazon Prime freebie. It's about a jazz musician. It came out in 1997. It's about a jazz musician / karate teacher named Johnny Domino who gets the power to hear people's evil thoughts, and then he also finds a super robot suit.
Actually, dude,
Nightman,
they said
freebie.
He goes, man, what's happening in my head? What's going on? And like his partner or something goes, you're listening, you're tuned into the frequency of evil.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that feels like a sick tagline.
Dude, it's fucking great. Yeah. The scientist says, well, Johnny, your brain is picking up other frequencies like a radio. And he goes, but Doc, I'm only hearing the bad things. And he goes, well, yes, Johnny, that's because you're tuned to the frequency of evil. And he's and it takes place in a world where a jazz musician is the most famous local celebrity in the world. He's like cutting ribbons and opening stuff. It's fucking bananas.
Like, hey, I mean, Kenny G. There we go. The 90s. I was like, maybe it was Kenny G as a superhero. But he always reminded me of Tarzan. Just his hair and
Kenny
stuff.
G.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Blowing that horn. But yeah, so those are my recommendations. Watch Fallout and Nightman. Both are on Amazon.
Okay. Let's see. I guess I only have one recommendation. I might have recommended this before, but I'll do it again. It's the Awakening compilation from Akali. It's just like a bunch of different artists, these bass heads. It came out in March 29th. It was like end of last month, 2024.
Cool.
It's really good. I recommend that. It's just a bunch of different artists. I don't know. I can't really pronounce them all, but it's very good trap, dubstep, house kind of thing.
Oh, so it's like people who like bass. It's not
like
freebasers. It's not people who are freebasing bass heads.
Nothing like that.
Okay, cool.
Clarification there. Thank you.
I don't know if the people from the Star Trek Facebook page know what bass heads are, but yeah.
No, but it's what was I gonna say?
Oh, sorry.
I guess it's just like a new generation. No, you're good. Oh man, I don't know. But yeah, that's just basically what I've been into. Oh yeah, that 1001 generator.
You're on it.
It's weird.
1001. Well, what's the website? What's the web address?
A 1001 albums generator. Just Google that, and it should be like the first link.
It gives you. It's got a 1,000. It generates an album a day for 1,001 days, and then you try and listen to it, and then post a little thing about it.
Yeah, you record your little notes, and then you do a 5-star rating, just like we're doing.
There you go.
Yes.
And
what's next episode then here?
The next episode is the Enterprise incident.
Oh.
Bom, 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 bom. We don't usually do this, but let's take a quick little peek. So the synopsis for next week is: disguised as a Romulan, Kirk steals a cloaking device.
Okay, cool. All right, we got some alien feature here. Oh, yes, that's what I was going to recommend. I've just been watching Star Trek Voyager.
Yeah, Voyager's great.
Yep.
Classic. Fucking
finishing
rips.
Season 7.
So good.
Yes. The 6 of 9 and
7 of 9.
7 9, excuse me.
6 of 9.
6
nice.
Of 9. No, 7 to 9, and then the Doctor stuff's crazy.
Yeah, I love Picardo, the guy who plays the Doctor. His last name is Picardo. He's fucking great he's in all kinds of shit. He's a great character actor. He's so good. Robert Picardo. All right. Well, yeah. So check out all that shit. Do all the stuff in the bumper. And we'll see you next week.
Thank you for listening.
Bye.
Season 3.
Season 3. Trek in the Valley is executive produced by Adam Ordall-Quinnell and Al Hirt. Theme song by Al Hirt. Recorded by Adam. Mixed and edited by Al. Check the show notes for our socials. And you can email the pod at trekinthevalley, all one word, @gmail.com. Like, subscribe, review, and always explore strange new fucking worlds.